Becoming a part-time YouTuber is the best thing that you can possibly do, and it's not because of something that you might think of. Now be careful. If for some reason, inspired by this video, you upload 10 videos in the next couple of weeks and nothing works, you don't get any views, you don't get AdSense, you don't get a community or anything of that nature, then this decision to make those videos is still the best decision that you could have made. Now to prove this to you, let me show you two of the most powerful observations you can make. Observation number one, let's take a look at the best people in the world at this moment, the richest, the most famous, the most skillful. Let's take a look at Tracy M. So Tracy M makes drawings. These are rudimentary drawings. There's nothing special about these drawings. Nothing. You can draw like this in a matter of weeks. Yet she is one of the most powerful artists in the world. Yet she is one of the most famous artists in the world. Yet she is one of the most admired artists in the world with rudimentary drawings. Why is this? It's obviously because of something that I will tell you in this video. Let's take a look at another example. Damien Hirst. On one side you see the spot paintings made by Damien Hirst. On the other side you see paintings made by Thomas Downing a couple of decades before Damien Hirst. Basically the same paintings. These are both spot paintings. One of them, Damien Hirst, became massively famous with these stolen artwork. This is basically plagiarism. He became famous. Thomas Downing became forgotten. Nobody remembers that guy. Why is that? What is it about Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin? What do Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin have in common? Well, if you listen to mainstream art history, what these mainstream art history people will tell you is that it's because of colors and composition and meaning and depth. And all of these art history people are full of shit. All of these art history people make things up. It's all not real. It's all made up bullshit that they tell themselves, that they masturbate themselves on. And I can tell you this because I've studied with these people. I talk with these people. They make shit up. It's not real. Okay, those same people will tell you that Marcel Duchamp took a urinoir, put it upside down, and then told the world that it was art because of some deep inherent meaning inside of the thing. But it's all bullshit. Okay, I can tell you why Duchamp created that artwork. I can tell you because he got a kick out of making the world believe that a urinoir is in fact a piece of art. That's why. He just found it so funny that he could convince everyone that a urinoir is a piece of art. That's why he did that. It was just a game. And so what is it that Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin have in common? They are better at communicating and convincing the world that circles are a piece of art than everybody else. That's it. That's what they have in common. Now, this whole urinoir thing actually reminds me of something that happened when I was 9. I'm playing outside with a kid named John. And I needed to take revenge on John because 1 week earlier he stole my most prized toy car. A blue car, yellow seats, big wheels in the back, small wheels in the front with this little engine sticking out of the roof thing. You know, like if you're a guy, you know what I mean, like fucking massive car. He steals that. So I'm walking with him on the street and there's this massive crack in the pavement and we look at the crack. There's red ants, thick red ants that crawl outside of the pavement. And if there's one thing I knew about Sean, it's that he loved muscles. He collected Action Man figures, had these posters of muscled guys in his room, the whole thing. And so I know this, and I tell the following thing to John. I convince him to lay down in this ant colony, let himself be bitten by all of these red ants for 20 minutes because there's some poison inside of the red ants and a particular substance in that poison that will make his muscles grow. So he does this. He lays down in this ant colony. 1 day later, his dad comes knocking on the door with his crying son full of ant bites, the whole thing. My mom already knew about the story, and so she says, "Oh, looks like your son is really anting up the workout, isn't he?" And she slams the door closed. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, believe it or not, convincing a 9-year-old to lay down in a colony of ants because of some story I made up was one of the best feelings of my life. The best feelings in life come from communication skills. The best things in life that happen come from communication skills. Improving your communication skills is the difference between being a full-time artist and not being a full-time artist. It's the difference between getting a girlfriend and not getting a girlfriend, making money and starving. Improving your communication skills is the best thing you can do in the next couple of years, in the next couple of months, to improve your life. Because what happens if you improve your communication skills? Well, you will decrease the amount of misunderstanding between you and everyone in the world, your bosses, your colleagues, your partner. You will increase the amount of attention people have, both offline and online for you. Now, on top of that, we all think in words. We all have this inner voice inside of our heads. And what is that inner voice? It's talking, it's communicating. If you improve your communication skills, this inner voice becomes better. And so what happens in that scenario? Well, you start to think better, because thinking is nothing more than that inner voice. And if that inner voice becomes better, it becomes better at convincing you of doing the things that you know you should be doing. Suddenly, you actually go to the gym because that inner voice is so convincing. Suddenly, you actually go over to that girl and talk to her because that inner voice is so convincing. Suddenly, you start that art career. You put that art up for sale. You do whatever you want to do in life. And so what does all of this mean? Well, everything in life is a language problem. That's what it means. Everything in life is a language problem. The moment you transform your language skill, you transform every single aspect of your life. And so once you understand that communication skill is the number one skill, the question becomes, how can you become a better communicator? How can you out-communicate everyone in your field? Now, before I give you the answer, let me tell you that I would never, ever, in a million years, sell you something inside of my videos. I would never do that. That is disgusting, sellout YouTuber behavior that I do not participate in. But if I would obviously tell you that the best way to become the best communicator in the world is to buy my online artist residency, where you will learn my step-by-step process for researching videos, recording videos, telling stories, just like the 9-year-old version Anne's Red Ant story, everything step by step, so that you can literally copy paste everything, so that you can finally confidently make content online instead of feeling like you're just making glorified book reviews like all of these other low-level YouTubers, some of which might have more views, but that's okay. So let's go to the lesser but cheaper solution to this whole problem. How can we become the best communicators in the world? How can we out-communicate everyone? Well, the obvious answer that you already know is that you have to practice. You have to practice on a regular basis. Now, here's my promise. In the next minute, I will give you a process to practice that you can execute on in 10 minutes. It will take you 10 minutes to execute on this. And I can promise you that it will change your life in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form. If you execute on it, only 10 minutes, it will change your life. And so here's what I recommend to train those communication skills to out-communicate everyone in your field. Step 1, answer the following question. What is something that you could give a presentation on right now if I would throw you in front of 25 people on a stage without preparation? So right now you can give that presentation, okay? Write it down in your mind's eye. We all know that you're not going to take a piece of paper and write it down or something, but write it down in your mind, okay? Step 2, take your phone and press record and just give that presentation right now. A couple of minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, doesn't really matter. Just give that presentation. Now at this stage, some kind of bullshit excuse will come to mind. Oh, but Dries, my phone isn't good enough. The mic on my phone is not good enough. Whatever bullshit reason. Ty Lopez recorded one of the best performing ads ever on his phone. Okay, Damien Hurst is literally going online right now telling the world that a circle is a piece of art. If he can do that, you can definitely record this thing that you had in mind. Okay, so no bullshit excuses, just do this thing. Then, step number 3. Now, this is a very important step. Publish it online. Now, if you do this, you know what's going to happen? You'll feel like a kid again. convincing his classmates that his circle is amazing, that his dog painting is amazing, that whatever he's doing, a urinoir, is an absolute masterpiece. That's the feeling that you want. It's just like Picasso said, all children are born artists. The problem is remaining an artist as we grow up. That said, get the hell out of here.